morning and welcome to the Sports Bar and Talk Sport. Me, Jamie Hurry, over there, Jason Cundy.
Has anyone seen my voice?
Oh, he's sweating, ill. No, you got nothing for me?
I braved it, matey. No, the voice doesn't. Had Spurs got beaten, I'd have pulled something out the bag.
Yeah.
But I want to protect the voice.
Okay, all right, brilliant. The Champions League is back, and that means Spurs are back on fire against Dortmund tonight. Thomas Frank's team easing past Borussia Dortmund. Why can't Spurs play like that every week in the Premier League? Tell me. 03717 223344. Arsenal on fire, win again, but talking point, Eze got dragged. He's played 26 minutes in the last 6 Premier League games. Is he a problem? What's going on with him? Why is he not playing well? Man City got embarrassed by Bodo Glimt. Don't know what on earth's going on with Pep and Man City at the moment, but Man City fans want to hear from you. Is it the beginning of the end? 03717 223344. Hello, mate.
Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Do you know what, matey? I've braved it. I wasn't great yesterday, in all honesty.
Yeah, no one cares.
Well, why ask me then? No, I'm on the back of picking up something I had over Christmas, right? I don't think I completely fought it off.
Mate, you're ill every week.
I know that. I know.
Have some vitamins. Eat healthy.
Mate, I do.
Stop drinking at Frankie's Bar in Stamford Bridge.
Mate,
Get yourself home, ice bath, plunge. You know, and look after yourself. Sick of sitting in an airtight studio with you every week being ill. My immune system's in overdrive.
You're a bit chirpy. Oh, Spurs won, did they?
Yeah, Spurs are back.
You've not been chirpy for the last 2 months. Now all of a sudden, look at you.
Good team.
You played well, to be fair.
Good
To
team.
be fair, you did play very
Mate,
well.
we're on fire.
You
in
were.
the
You
Champions
played
League.
well. I know the red card helped, but actually before then.
Before that,
No, you're right. But if you can't do that to a team that 10 men when you're on fire, and you got the second goal, I mean, the only disappointing complaint I suppose you'd have is, where's the third?
Yeah, it should have been 3 or 4.
But you take it, mate, all day long. A win's a win. Dominic Solanke. You never see Messi score those goals.
No, Puskas award winner.
Honestly,
Give it to him now.
What
Forget Dembele's one. This is the goal of the season.
Yeah.
He scored 3 touches in 1 movement.
Yeah, that's
unbelievable.
It was almost like a backward step over. Yeah. It comes off his heel. Yeah. Keeper didn't know where the ball was. Yeah. To be fair, neither did he. Did he? He didn't know where the ball was.
If anyone else could replicate that goal, I think it would be you.
I'd have a go.
Yeah.
Come off my left foot, hit my shin, come off, and go my own goal. It's a clearance.
But to be fair, Spurs, come on, give us some credit.
No, I just said, mate, you played well up until the red card.
More credit, though.
Well, I'm going to say you played well. The trouble is, where are you in the league table? Hold on.
Well, fourth.
No.
Yeah, Champions League table.
Yeah.
Spurs are the 4th best team in Europe.
You're the 14th worst team in the Premier League.
We are the 4th best team in Europe.
It says 14th here.
Yeah. I'm looking.
Palace above you.
Is it
Palace?
Is it Champions League night? It is
Palace
Champions League night. So I've got the Champions League table in front
listen,
of me.
you deserve credit.
And I've got 4th place in the table.
You deserve credit. You play really well tonight, and you made the point. Where is that Spurs side on a Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock home at West Ham? Where is that team? Where is that energy? Where's the closing down? And it's so important, right? It feels like you're the sort of team that if you can get out the traps early and build a bit of confidence, and you gain from it, the momentum's with you. But you probably also, they're so fragile, you concede the first, and everyone in the stadium going, oh no, even the players, everyone in the dressing room, everyone in the dugout, here we go again. But you put your foot to the throat and you got the second goal. And to be honest with you, mate, they're a good side, Dortmund, and you put them to the sword. Even though they're down to 10 men, which helps, obviously, but you still got that second goal. And they never really look like scoring, I don't think. One free kick into the box.
They had a couple of chances second half. They sorted themselves out, but we were miles better than them. It is so frustrating, though, being a Spurs fan, when you watch that performance and you're like, right, come on, I see it in the Champions League.
That's why you're 14th.
We are decent.
That's why you're 14th. Because
I know, but I can't
string performances together.
But why, though? Why? Why?
That is the million-dollar question. It really is. Because actually in Europe, that's when I've seen the best side of Spurs this season.
Yeah.
In Europe.
Well, the last 2 seasons.
You've been good.
We've been brilliant.
But then the league form, I can't believe you're below Palace. Do you know what I mean? It's unfathomable. And if Thomas Frank can get his finger on the reason why it's so different, and we're not just talking about, 1 or 2 results. Your home form in the Champions League is good. Your home form in the Premier League is a disgrace. I can't put my finger on it. No, seriously, there has to be something about the way teams set up in Europe.
I can't get my head around it. Jace, I don't know what I'm watching. Because when I watch us tonight, I enjoy watching Tottenham. The front foot football, the second ball, the energy all over the park, the way we move it, it seems to be a zip. I just can't understand that when we play in the Premier League, it's nothing like that. I'm watching it.
Agreed.
The fans are different. It feels like the atmosphere is different. The football's different. Everything about it just doesn't. It's like chalk and cheese.
Is it something to do with the lights?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, the lights come.
We play under the lights, in the Premier League.
I'm trying to find something, mate. I mean,
I don't know what it is.
No one's got the answer.
I don't know whether it's the atmosphere from the away fans, European fans, Borussia Dortmund, fantastic support, builds a bit of an energy and an atmosphere. I don't know whether it's because it's the Champions League players step up more, but, your bread and butter's Premier League football.
Yeah, and it's been going on.
So frustrating.
This sort of thing's been going on. It's before Thomas. This has been going on. Your home form has been going on since Big Ange. You can go back a year ago. Same conversation.
Since we've been into that stadium.
Same conversation you could be having. It's a head scratcher, mate.
Good team though in Champions League, mate. Forced to be reckoned with.
Well, you played you played well tonight, mate.
Could win it.
Well, yeah, you could. I mean, you could also go down this season.
Imagine being Champions League winners in the Championship.
In Europe, you're playing Lincoln next season. No, listen, you played well. Credit where credit's due. You played really well, and you deserve the 3 points. And Dortmund, someone said we're watching it on TNT, it's the worst performance they've seen from a Dortmund side in Champions League football in a long time. But that goes credit to Spurs. But then you get the red card. But then you've got to make that 10-man count. You've got to make sure that numerical advantage really does count. And you did. The only thing is, if you really want to be picky, get the third goal. Because if they scored, it would have been a little bit, oh my God, here we go.
The gloss off it.
2-1 with 10 to go. You don't want to be in that situation.
No.
You shouldn't be in that situation.
No, we should have gone 3 or 4.
No, credit where credit's due, mate. Well done.
2-0, clean sheet, happy days. Man City, though.
Yeah.
Stinker.
Well, yeah, what a strange game. City started on the front foot really well. But Glimp gave them the respect they deserved. But then Glimp on the break. Wow. Some of their movement. Apparently they were saying the Glimp haven't played. The last time they played, Man City have played 10 games in that period. So because they're in their winter now, right?
Right,
in Norway, right? And someone said in comms, maybe it's down to the fact they've had time off and they're fresher. No. That doesn't wash for me.
They haven't had a game for 41 days, I've just been told.
Yeah, they've played 10 games, City, since they played their last game. But City dominated the ball. They defended ever so well. But when they went on the break, City all over the place at the back. Absolutely all at sea. 3-0, and I know they got the goal back, City, but it could have been 4, could have been 5. And that is the honest truth. No idea what's going on.
Is there a problem there?
Yeah, there is. Oh, yeah. This is.
But if you signed Gay and Semenyo.
Yeah, well, they're not qualified to play now. I think in the knockout stages, I think they can play. I don't think they can play next week.
Yeah.
Because the Champions League squad has been picked. So they'll come back. They'll start in the league, right? But there is a problem. You cannot get away from it. The last games they played, they've drawn 3, lost 2. That's the last 5 games. Drawn 3 and lost 2. And they got battered 2-0 at Man United. They got battered tonight. Yeah, there's a problem there. And City's title challenge has completely fallen off a cliff. And if that's anything to go by, they're going to be nowhere near good enough to win the Champions League.
All right, Man City fans, want to hear from you. Obviously, a disappointing night. Arsenal win as well. We'll talk about Eze, but I'm going to go to some Spurs fans and phone us up. Marco, Spurs, all right?
Marco?
Yeah, you're right, lads.
How are you, Marco? You happy? You've got to be happy with tonight.
I'll be honest with you, lads. I'm fuming, but I think with you two, I mean, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I mean, Jamie, especially you're calling for the manager's head last week, a few days ago.
Yeah, all right.
And
but I'm not saying...
you're trying to talk to us about... You're working out why the form's different in the Premier League to the Champions League. Well, it's pretty obvious. Well, I mean, the Champions League, we played Slavia Prague at home, Copenhagen at home, Villarreal at home, 3 of the worst teams in the competition this year, and Dortmund were horrendous tonight. They didn't even turn up. They got a red card, which wasn't a red card. They didn't get that.
It's Champions League, though.
So maybe we're talking about 1-1.
Marco, it's Champions League.
What's Champions League?
They're in the Champions League.
Slavia Prague at home, Villarreal at home. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, but
in the Premier League,
Dortmund are better than West Ham.
At home to West Ham.
Yeah, but Dortmund are better than West Ham.
They weren't tonight. Well, I don't know what you're watching. Dortmund were
because we
horrendous
made them because we've put in a top performance.
No. They had 10 men, Jamie.
They went down to 10 men half hour into the game. We was All over him.
Okay, yeah, half an hour into the game.
We're all over him, Marco.
If you want to backtrack, Jamie, if you want to backtrack on what you said on Sunday and say, you know what, let's give Frank time now.
No, I'm not saying that. But this has got nothing to do with Thomas Frank. This has got to do with the performance tonight. Why is our performances in the Champions League so much better than the Premier League?
You're talking about... Yeah, but you're coming out saying, like, oh, I know it's like half in jest saying Spurs are back and all this, but it doesn't help because we've got the worst manager in our history still sitting there in the dugout. And he's chewing his gum. He's coming out with utter nonsense every single press conference. And this one win, if it sways some fans, that's up to them. But he needs to be sacked immediately.
What's wrong with chewing gum?
It's the way he does it. Have you seen the way he does it?
What do you mean the way he does it? When his jaw goes up and down, you mean?
He does it very aggressively. I'll be honest with you, there's about 50 things I can talk about Thomas Frank about rather than the chewing gum. And I called you guys back in October to tell you that I pretty much didn't want him there.
Right.
I talked about the performances and the red flag.
But listen, Marco, can I just rewind and slow down a little bit? This Jekyll and Hyde Spurs side at home, it's not just this season. It goes back to last season. It goes back to Ange. It goes back to the season before last, actually, if you want to look at your home performances and your results. Nothing short of a disgrace. And this is a pattern. Now, OK, you might make the point they're not as good, but he's right. West Ham aren't Dortmund. You up until the 10 men, right, you still bat them. And I cannot put my finger on why the performances are really, really good in the Champions League and so bad and so bad.
Really good in the Champions League?
Yeah, well, you have been in what I've seen. Yeah, you have
table. Marco.
At home, yes, you have.
Which performance? Honestly,
well, I mean, all the games I've seen, to be honest.
Played well.
All the games I've seen this season, I've come away going. Say again.
Which game in the Champions League did you think? You know what? We beat Copenhagen, who again they absolutely didn't turn up. And
well, I mean
we're out.
You can't keep just saying, oh, they didn't turn up. Spurs played well. I mean, there has to be some credit that the performance they put in is...
We can give them a bit of credit, right? But the problem is, how can you give them any credit when they're sitting 14th in the Premier League?
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's a disgrace in the Premier League, and that's why Thomas Frank's job's under pressure. But why?
It shouldn't be under pressure, though, Jamie. He's had about... All the Tottenham fans I know, the hundreds of Tottenham fans, we all said the same thing. How's he not sacked after that West Ham game? It's a disgrace. And now he's going to get the Burnley game. God knows what's going to happen there. And I just feel like they might just end up giving him the rest of the season. And the fans are just...
But who's going to come in, though, Marco? Marco, who comes in?
It doesn't matter because...
Well, of course it matters.
Honestly, it really, really doesn't. No, it doesn't, because anything's better than him. But
that's not true. Is Ryan Mason better than Thomas Frank?
Honestly, Jamie, I would take him over. I'll take you over Thomas Frank right now.
Do you know what the Burnley game?
Please tell me what you've seen in the Premier League.
I've not seen enough. I've not seen enough, and that's why I've been saying he should go. But when I watch us tonight, there is a performance in that team. There's a performance in that team.
Keep him after tonight.
Well, they're not going to sack him, are they?
No. If he loses to Burnley, that may well be the final straw, because it's one thing winning at home. You know, you cannot lose at home to Burnley. You cannot lose back-to-back. Away. You cannot lose at home to West Ham and away to Burnley. That simply cannot happen back-to-back games. That might be the game they go, thanks.
I think the issue that they've got is that I don't think there's anyone readily available to come in, steady the ship until the end of the season. I think they look at it and think with Thomas Frank, with the way they've been talking to him, that they believe that he can do something to survive this season.
Yeah.
And then in the summer, I think there'll be a big look and maybe a big change.
You may well be right. Yeah.
But I don't think there's an interim manager out there right now where you come in and say, yeah, I'll take him. He'll be perfect. Michael Carrick would have been a good fit, but he's gone to Man United. I don't think there's a manager there which is probably better suited to come in.
Big Ange? He's out of work at the minute.
Come on, mate.
He won a European trophy, but helicopter, mate, you could win the Champions League with Big Ange. Back-to-back European trophies.
I'm not having your garbage tonight. Come on.
What do you mean?
Well, I deal with a lot of garbage with you.
Well, you said you don't know anyone. I've just given you a name. It's not my fault you don't like it. Is it?
Do you think Big Ange would do a better job than Thomas Frank?
What was his last game he had in charge for Spurs? What happened?
He won the Europa League.
Helicopter him in, mate. There you come. Says to the arm, mate.
All right, get your calls in. Loads to go at tonight. 03717 22 3344.
Quiet your mind mouth with extra gum. Chew good.
You're listening to the Sports Bar talkSPORT. Me, Jamie Hart, Jason Cundy. We're going to hear from the managers Huge night in Europe, live across the talkSPORT network. First, let's get back to some calls, though. 03 717 223344. Let's go to Ryan. He's a Spurs fan. All right, Rise?
Rhino?
Hey, boys, you right?
I'm all right, Rise. You okay?
Yeah, I'm a bit like Jay, losing my voice, so apologies.
Oh, mate, how you feel?
Do you know what Marco's about, mate? Do you know what I mean? Listening to all that, it's like, oh.
Cool, your voice sounds so bad. It sounds like you've got bad reception.
No, it's all right. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, go on.
Cool. No, I was just going to say the one thing that was different was it looked like Thomas Frank had a plan. We went to the back five in defence, 4-2-3-1, going forward.
Yeah.
The one thing I'll say is they look like they're playing for him. And I think as long as that still is evident, he ain't going to get the sack.
What does that mean, though, Ryan? When you say playing for a manager, I mean, they're playing in the Champions League, for crying out loud. I mean, they ain't going to stroll about the pitch, are they? You know, people say playing for the manager. Well, they're playing for themselves as well, right? It's self-pride in your performance. You're playing for Tottenham in the Champions League against Borussia Dortmund. You don't need the manager to get you up for that. I agree there's a plan, but, you know...
Yeah, but I also like, you know, obviously you guys were on the radio, but looking at TNT's sort of, you know, filming afterwards and seeing the way they're embracing him, it meant they were all hugging him really strongly. Just little things like that. You know, there wasn't... The one thing that didn't get me, I don't know if you saw at half-time when they had a little like huddle before they went into the changing rooms. I didn't really get any of that as well, but, you know...
The measure is going to be this weekend coming, right, away at Burnley. That's, you know, going away at Burnley, it's all well and good, Jay's right, under the lights, at home, Dortmund, the whole world is watching, the whole world. Going away to Burnley are going to make life difficult. We know what Scotty Parker's going to do. You know exactly how it's going. It's going to be horrible. And you're going to, if you get anything out of that, you'll have earned absolutely everything. Even though they're struggling at the wrong end of the table, it's still one of those places that they can slip up. Yeah. And if you don't deliver, and if you don't turn up, you'll get your collar felt. That's just, they went to Liverpool, by the way, and got a point at the weekend.
Yeah, they're no mugs.
All right, so that's the acid test.
Scotty Parker as well, isn't it? Scotty Parker as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's that sort of thing about it. The other thing I would say as well is if you look at, you know, it might be worth looking and playing some of the younger players as well, because you look at them and you go, blimey, you know, playing the kids, actually the kids that have grown up in Tottenham, that have been there since 6-7-year-old, that Byfield that come on, 7-year-old, he's brilliant as well.
He ain't doing that, though, is he?
He wants to keep his job, you know.
You know what I mean? He's got to play his best team.
What I am saying is that it's sort of like last chance saloon for him, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, I know, but your last chance saloon ain't throwing a load of kids in. I mean, when you're trying to keep your job, you need your best players to perform. It's all right drip feeding them in tonight. Byfield comes on, it's great. You're winning the game 2-0, comfortable, down to 10 men. It's a perfect game for him to come into. You ain't throwing him against. You ain't playing him against.
Jay, I don't know if it's our training. I don't know if it's what's going on. There are an absolutely unreal amount of injuries.
It's the whole team. I see it today. The list is ridiculous. I don't know what goes on in that medical team. I've never seen anything like it. They must need a hotel. Honestly, it's a joke. It is a joke. I can't believe how many players get injured all the time. Bergvall gets injured tonight.
Same going on at Spurs Lodge. But the one thing I will say is that he's got to have a little bit of leeway, that he's still pulling out results like this when he's got the bare bones of the squad. And listen, we all know everyone's got their own issues with ENIC and with the ownership, and with, I think a lot's been sort of scapegoated for Daniel Levy and all that sort of stuff. But the reality of the situation is, if they're serious about him, they're going to back him. All the money they've spent this window has been the money they've got for Brennan Johnson with Conor Gallagher. So we'll see how serious they are about backing him in this transfer market. Because if they don't, then it's Pochettino in the summer, isn't it? And that's it.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Anyway,
Rise, listen, thanks for your call.
Sort your voice out, bud. Good luck.
I'm going to go to Josh. He's an Arsenal fan. All right, Josh?
Right, Joshua.
Oi.
How are you, Josh? Are you good?
What's up?
Yeah, I'm all right, man. It feels good being around the 16.
Yeah, flying, to be fair. Cruising, yeah. Was it 7 on the bounce?
Yeah.
In Champions League?
7 on the bounce, mate.
Absolutely flying high.
Yeah, and you know what? I think we're just starting to purr now, you know?
Starting to purr. Well, you're going to take some stopping, I know that.
That goal from Gyökeres was, he needed that tonight.
didn't he? Just
Yeah.
Did need a goal. What about Eze though, Josh?
Oh, the passenger.
do you see it that way?
You know
do you?
what it is? You know what it is? You know what it is with Eze, right? Eze's defensive work isn't enough for Arteta. And Arteta is he's very unforgiving. We saw it with Ramsdale. Ramsdale had too many howlers in him. Arteta said, no, let's go and get a new keeper. When they got him straight away. No messing about. This is what I love about my manager. He does not mess about. Doesn't like conceding goals. Hence why we went on that unbelievable run at the beginning of the season. Yeah?
Yeah.
Eze, for me, he's a very good player. He's a maverick. But he's too languid. He doesn't move around.
I call him a
After
drifter,
that bit-
Josh.
Yeah.
I think he's a bit of a drifter, and I got a bit of criticism for that when I think I said it last season at Crystal Palace, and he ended the season really well. I said he's a drifter. He's in and out of games. When he's on, he's on. He's good, you know, and he can perform.
He is, yeah.
But the problem with him, when you go to the next level, when you're at, an Arsenal, you can't drift. You have to be involved in the game, with or without the ball, 24/7. And I think that's the problem he's got.
As a team, and Eze doesn't defend with the team.
No.
I think it's a really good point you make, actually, because one thing about Arsenal, when they give the ball away, they retreat every single one. It's like a Red Army coming back, but they run in a straight line towards the goal. And I saw it tonight. I saw Zubimendi do it, and you do it so well. I've seen it all season. Rice does it. Everyone gets back in. And that little cutback, when your back forward is deep and you drop back sometimes, you have to go back in your 6-yard line. On the penalty spot, Declan Rice is there. Zubimendi's there. And you're like, they've run 40, 50 yards, those boys, to get themselves there, to stop that little ball, that cutback. And that's why Arsenal are the best defensive side in Europe right now. And that's why they're going to go
You haven't
deep.
seen Eze for the last 4 games.
Yeah, and he is a bit of he's a player that you've got to not build your team around. Well, in some ways, Palace, you can afford.
He was the main man at Palace.
Yeah, and when you're as talented as him, and you're a Crystal Palace and you're playing a 3 at the back and the wing backs tuck in, you might be able to get away with that. But when you're at Arsenal...
But do you know what's going to happen? Ethan Nwaneri is going to surpass him soon.
Well, we'll see.
Ethan's off to Marseille now. Ethan's off to Marseille. He's going to sharpen up his skills. I'm really happy.
Is he going? Is he going or gone, did you say?
It's more or less
done, is it?
Yeah, it's done, I think. That.
Yeah.
Well, he's a talent, the kid, so he'll play every week.
I want to say something. Tottenham just need to just stick with Thomas Frank for goodness sake.
Well, I'm going to listen to you, Josh.
No,
Arsenal fan.
No, listen to Josh.
Every single year, you're always talking about who are we going to get in? Who are we going to get in? You've had every single manager under the sun.
Yeah. Europa League winners. Doing that.
Yeah, you've had every single manager under the sun.
I know, but one of the Europa League, though, Josh.
What you lot need to do, you just need to start again. That's what Arsenal did.
Start again every season.
Again.
Spurs are
No,
back.
but do it. Just do it properly, for goodness sake. You know?
Yeah, but it's all right you
big
saying that.
old
You
clear
stuck
out.
with Arteta because you were garbage for a few seasons, but there was a plan in place. There was a strategy with him as the manager.
We wanted him straight after Wenger, but he wasn't ready.
Exactly.
Arsenal
So,
don't mess about
I don't
with
know if
managers.
Tottenham are convinced that is Thomas Frank. I agree with you. I'd love to back a manager for 4 or 5 seasons like you did with Arteta and have a clear plan.
Just stick with him, man.
I don't know if Thomas Frank's that guy.
Josh, I don't know if you're taking the you know what. I think you are, mate. I don't think you couldn't care less, mate.
Listen, listen, he will be gone in 3 weeks because your fixtures are unreal. Yeah? You will beat City and you will hand the title to us once you beat City.
I think so, anyway.
That's what I can say. But anyway, boys.
All right, Josh.
Cheers, Joshua.
Thanks for your call.
Cheers, bud.
Keep them coming in. Loads to talk about. You can talk about Spurs, Thomas Frank, talk about Eze, Arsenal fans. You're a bit worried about him not doing the business. Man City fell off a cliff.
Terrible.
03717 22 3344. Yeah, you're listening to the Sports Bar, talkSPORT. Me, Jamie Hart, Jason Cundy. We're going to hear from Pep Guardiola. So I got battered by Bodo Glimt earlier this evening. Spurs secured a much-needed win, though, in the Champions League. They beat Dortmund 2-0. Let's get back to your calls. 03717 22 3344. Let's go to Chris. He's a Spurs fan. All right, Chris?
All right, Chris.
Boys, how you doing? All right?
Yeah, I'm all right, Chris. You was at the game? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, well, I did enjoy it, but I think it's again, Thomas Frank. It's a touchy subject with everyone at Spurs at the minute, as you know. But I think he was forced to pick the team that he picked tonight, and they played the way they wanted to play, because if he's not had. He's not been picking Bergvall. He's not been putting Gray in the position where he was today. He's not been giving them the freedom. If you watch Tottenham regularly and you can see Frank on the sidelines. When you watch it on the telly, it's not the same. When you watch the games, you can see him on the sidelines, always pulling them back, always pulling them in. He's always trying to keep it tight. I don't think he really gives them free rein to play the game as much, really. And it's just, it's nice to see the boys that were doing really well. You had Odebear and Xavi down one side. They were playing really well. But I don't think it was the game he wanted to play. I think they just played the game.
Chris, let me ask you this. All right, so I watch as much of Spurs as I possibly can, okay? And I see all the live games, I see everything, right? There was something about Spurs in that first 10, 15 minutes that you don't often see. And you gained confidence from that. And, okay, they went down to a red card, but you carried on that front foot. And 2-0, they got away with it a bit, Dortmund, in all honesty. On another day, if you take your chances and make more of those opportunities, you go up 3-0 at half-time. Why do you not see that? Why is that not energy, closing down, working as one, hunting in packs, not going in ones and twos or throwing your arms up? That first 15 minutes set the tone. That's where you won the game, in the first 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think it was just genuinely because the players were excited that they were thinking, actually, we might be able to play our own game here. And they just went out. They went out to try and prove something. I think Bergvall went out to prove something. I think Xavi went out to prove something.
Yeah, but the way that they set up, and you're right, I listened to a lot of Spurs fans phone up, not just this show and other shows. They say similar to what you've said, that they retreat, that there is a defensive mindset, that there's almost a fear of conceding. And that feeds into the game and feeds into the fans. And sometimes, more often than not at home, you get results like West Ham. But tonight, the question really is, why didn't you see that Saturday?
Well, it's a very good question. And I just think he was forced into the selection and forced into changing it up. And he's just had to say, right, we'll have to do it like this. I think the thing with Thomas Frank is, and I was talking to my old man today about it on the way, like I say, he's driving, we're on our way back home now. And we was talking about the way some managers, they look at the team they've got and they force the players to play the system that the manager wants to play, rather than looking at the players and then playing the system that is better for the players to get results. So you look at Amorim at Man United, he forced the players to play in the system that he wanted, and it just didn't work. You've got Carrick who's come in, he's looking at the players and he's going, right, how can we make this better and let them play in the way that they're more comfortable playing? And I think Glasner's the same. Glasner, it's said, he doesn't generally play that style of football, but with the players that he had and what he had in front of him, he's had to play that style of football, and they did well until obviously the owners are sort of dismantling the team.
Do you know what, right? I'm looking at your lineup at the weekend. Why?
Didn't Basuma play?
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying, no, you got Conor Gallagher in there, right? Yeah. But what I'm saying is, that shape and that team, why can't they play like you did for the first 20 minutes? What's stopping that team doing the same thing? I'm not convinced it's the team.
They do. Oh, yeah, but hopefully they do now. Hopefully he says, all right, we'd have had a fantastic game. I think, Xavi's got a knock and Bergvall's still got a knock. And to be honest, knowing Thomas Frank, if he's got anyone else who can play, he'll probably swap them out and he won't play that same team against Burnley. And we'll go to Burnley and we'll probably lose. So it's one of them ones where, if he can, hopefully he can play the same team. They were a lot more fluid. They looked a lot more comfortable on the ball. Down both channels, they were playing fantastic. The work that,
I think it helps having Solanke back in the team. I mean...
Oh, I think he lifted everyone.
I think he played well tonight, but he works hard. He's up for pressing from the front. Do you know what I mean? So then he sets the tone if you're going to play that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I want to listen. We have to continue playing that way, Chris. He ain't out of trouble here, Thomas Frank. He's got a result against a decent Borussia Dortmund side, but he has to take that performance, and it has to be the same again against Burnley. It has to be 3 points. You can't go there and then put in another bang average performance in the Premier League against Burnley and expect to not get criticism again. It's got to be, right,
No.
let's go again. That game's over. We've played well. This is how I liked it. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
And if you don't...
Yeah. No, I'll say one last thing, though. Romero, I'll tell you what, because he's another one of them players. He is world-class. If you watch him, he's world-class. And he really does control from the back, and he really sets the tone as well in some games. But he doesn't get the credit because he's playing for Spurs. But I think he's a fantastic player, and I really rate Romero. And I think, he gets a lot of stick for his attitude sometimes and the yellow cards and red cards he gets. But I'll tell you what, he's phenomenal, and he played phenomenal tonight as well.
Decent.
I mean, listen, he's got a 10 out of 10 performance in him as a centre half. All right, Chris, thanks for your call. We're going to keep going with them. You want to have your say on tonight's performances. Want to hear from Arsenal fans on Eze because it is looking like a bit of a disappointing season for him at the minute. He's not getting involved too much in the Premier League. He got dragged tonight. Is he a drifter? That was my argument with him. He can't play like that when you're at Arsenal. And obviously Man City earlier on, absolutely shocking. Pep Guardiola, we're going to hear from him. They are having a stinker. 03 717 22 33 44.